Today, I had the pleasure of speaking to a professional matchmaker. She gave me all the tea about dating after divorce. You guys don't want to miss this, so stay tuned. Okay, so I want to say thank you for doing this with me. I'm excited to get the tea from you and hopefully get some information in for us divorced girlies who are looking to date again and find love after going through a divorce. So first, I would love for you to tell us about yourself, who you are, and your expertise.
Wonderful. It's nice to meet you, and thank you so much for inviting me to speak with you here today. I've been following you for a while, so this is just a pleasure. My name is Lauren Sanders. I'm a professional matchmaker and certified life coach, and I own the Love Crush Agency, which is a matchmaking service based in the United States, and we service individuals that are looking for love. We provide pairing services to everyone. However, we do have a focus on minorities. I've been a matchmaker for quite a while. And of course, as with everything in the United States, there was a deficit with minorities in the matchmaking space. So my focus was to bring opportunity, equal opportunity for minorities in matchmaking, and the Love Crush Agency was born.
I love that. We definitely need you. I'm glad to see you in this space. I love your content. I'm always like, oh, that's super relatable. Getting into these questions as divorced moms or divorced women, especially moms, we often hear like, oh, nobody's going to want to be with you
Mm.
or you're going to be alone forever. What's your take?
Well, the vast majority of divorced women that I speak with have done the work. They've been to therapy, and there's even been some that have had therapists that have recommended professional matchmaking services. But many of them are ready for love. Divorce is a lot, so they do come with a different mindset. They don't have their head in the clouds as much. They're very realistic about the process, and their priorities have switched a lot since they were last on the dating scene. That could have been in the 2000s. That could have been in the 90s. I mean, things are totally different now with dating apps, the dating sites and whatnot. But a lot of them are prepared mentally. They have their own spiritual practice, they have their own therapeutic practice, and they're just ready and looking for love. We also provide life coaching services as well. So for those individuals that may be a little bit on the cusp about matchmaking, a little bit reluctant and kind of scared to get back out there, we also provide those services for them as well so they can feel
Nice.
more comfortable when we do place them on a date with an individual.
So what has your experience been matching divorced women?
The vast majority of my clients are divorced women between the ages of maybe the mid 30s to the upper 40s.
Nice.
I'd say probably about 80 to 85% of my clients are divorced and
Oh,
are in that age range. I have a few outliers, but most of them are divorced. And I find them to be, pretty wise individuals. I feel like, again, they don't have their head in the clouds. They're realistic about life, love, and relationships, and they're not that difficult to work with. They're pretty optimistic, patient. They only want to do it one more time. If they're going to be married
right.
once, they want to take their time. So I appreciate that because I feel like, you need to focus on, we like to focus on quality over when it comes to pairing people.
Mhm.
So I do appreciate the patience that most of my divorced individuals and women have and whatnot. It's been a good overall experience with them. That probably would be my preference because I feel like they have a different mindset. So again, I do have clients that are never married, but my divorced individuals, they keep it real.
Yeah, we've been through it, so we kind of know exactly what we want, what we don't want. Like, we're not going through it again. Have you found like any pushback from the singles who you are matching them with, like maybe not wanting to date somebody who's divorced or someone with kids or anything like that?
Mhm. Meaning the individuals that I pair, my clients having pushback, or the people that I
No,
pair them with.
that you're trying to match them with.
Mhm. People in general are okay if people have been previously married, as long as they don't have any drama associated with
Right.
the previous union and their kid. If they have children, all that's organized. There's no stress there, no beef. Most individuals are pretty open to it. I have a small like group of individuals I've spoken with that may not be open to married individuals. But they probably 90 to 95% really don't care. It's all about, is that your person? That's what they're worried
Okay.
about the most. So it's definitely not a downer to have been married before. It's not a negative thing.
Okay, awesome. So you heard it
Mhm.
here first, ladies. Like, it's okay. You're still valuable in the market. Like, it's all
Yes, please believe that. Please.
yes,
Mhm.
exactly, right.
Mhm.
How do you know when somebody is ready, or are there any red or green flags that tells you like, okay, this person is not quite ready to date yet? Or basically, I want to know is there a timeline for dating again after divorce, or is like a journey that you need to go through? What do you think about that?
I say on average, again, with most of the women that I have paired, they've been single for at least about a year or two, but there's this thing called being healed. But I have a thing about that because when are you truly healed? What is being healed defined as? Because we all define it as something differently. So for my clients, I have a preference that their faith is restored more than anything. And they can be in the healing process, maybe not 100% healed, but as long as their faith is restored in relationships and love and in people, they're ready to date again. Because after divorce, I mean, you can just be like, you know what, forget it. I'm never going to date again. I hate men, all this stuff. But they have to have a renewed mindset and a restoration of faith in order to feel comfortable being matched and for it to be an overall good process for both of us. So it's really mental, take time for yourself, take time to do the work, go to therapy, have your own spiritual practice where you meditate, pray, read the Bible, read books, get up early in the morning and work out. Whatever you do, you need something to keep yourself, balanced. Mindfulness is very important in dating, especially in today's time. And like I said, it's brand new. A lot of these women they dated years ago when we didn't have dating apps, and now they're back here, in the dating world as a divorced person, and it's like being shocked, like, wow, this is the way it is now. But don't be discouraged. I mean, that's why we're here to help you throughout your entire journey.
That's how I feel too. Somebody recently sent me a question asking like, when is it okay to date again? And I think it has a lot to do with your mindset. What are your
Mm-hmm.
intentions when dating? Like, are you expecting to find love again, or are you just trying to, hook up? So it just depends on like where you are mentally, and then that healing journey that you go through to kind
Yeah.
of get yourself prepared to
Mm-hmm.
date and love again. Okay, so you mentioned online dating. I actually have a question about that too. How do you feel about that? Because I know it can, I mean, I've heard some success stories, but I've also heard like some crazy stories. So what do you think about the online dating world? And if
Mm-hmm.
it's not online dating, where do we go find a good man?
Absolutely. So online dating it can be great, but it's not the way it used to be when it was first created. When the dating sites first came out prior to the apps being created, I feel like people were more intentional about it. They were looking for, their life mate, and it was just like this category of people that you couldn't find anywhere else. It's almost comparable to Facebook. When Facebook first started, all we had were people that had college emails. Those are the only individuals that could
Right.
join. But now anybody can join Facebook, and it's a different feel. The same thing with the dating apps. It's not the same population that was on there even 10 years ago. Again, we didn't have dating apps back then. It was just dating sites. The four primary ones we had were Match, eHarmony, Zeus, and I think Chemistry. And things have just changed completely. So the dating apps, again, they can be good, but you have to know how to navigate them. You have to know which ones have a higher success rate, and just which ones overall you feel more comfortable with. But I understand it can be discouraging because there's a lot of small talk, there's a lot of ghosting, there's a lot of breadcrumbing, a lot of wasting
Yeah.
time. You meet them in person, they're not who you thought they were. So, the dating apps, it's kind of so-so. My suggestion is, of course, after that would be professional matchmaking because we do all of that for you and we're able to find those individuals that are not on the apps and the caliber of men that you actually want. But if you don't want to dive into matchmaking, I understand. However, you need to make yourself as present as possible. Make yourself seen. A lot of women, they're at home, they're going to church, grocery store, going to work, and that's it. But you have to make yourself present for somebody to find you. Therefore,
Right.
I would suggest getting out in your city, maybe trying different networking events, different professional events. I made a video the other day on my Instagram to maybe get on Eventbrite and just browse different events in your city. You can get on meetup.com and look at different interest groups as well and meet individuals that way. But the take home point is to make sure you're exposing yourself to as many people as possible without, overwhelming yourself, of course, and burning yourself out. But get out there. I mean, people are still meeting off the apps these days. So don't let
Yeah.
that be your only way that you attempt to meet people because you're going to get really burned out and you're going to give up altogether. We don't
Yeah.
want you to do that.
Well, that's good though. Then they'll end up with you because it's just like I need help.
Yeah.
So what are some like major red flags that we can identify like right away that we should absolutely deal breakers or run away from
hmm Deal breakers, like maybe with online dating or just when you're dating in
in
general.
general?
hmm Woo, it's so many things to choose from. But if I had to pick three, I'd say individuals that talk about their exes a lot.
Ooh,
And when they do talk about their exes, it's the ex's fault for everything. They don't take
mhm.
any accountability. They don't talk about, their participation in the divorce or whatever it may be, the breakup. And that's a red flag.
Right.
Accountability is important. If they can't take accountability at least a little bit in the previous relationship, that is a big, huge red flag. So look out for that.
Yeah.
Selfishness, that probably should be number one, but selfishness is a big red flag. And some people think it may be difficult to identify that in the beginning phases of the relationship, but there are ways you can see whether or not somebody is selfish. Just pay attention. But that's always going to be a huge red flag. As far as the third one, oh, here's a good one. An individual who is not very open or flexible or pliable.
Mhm.
You need to be very open and pliable and flexible and all the above when you're in a
Yeah.
relationship. They can't always want their own way all the time. If so, it's going to be doomed, or you're going to be really miserable in that relationship if you ignore that. So those things don't go away.
Yeah, exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
then also I'm at my little number four, any of those like fundamental differences. I mean, I know you can work out like religion and wanting to have children and all of that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but those they're kind of difficult to like get over that hump if it's somebody who you're interested in dating and you guys are not on the same page about, those
Mm-hmm.
fundamental issues. So thank you. I
Mm-hmm.
like those. I like those.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us some tips for dating again after divorce, just in general, finding
Mm-hmm.
love again?
General tips. The biggest tip I like to give women, because oftentimes they feel like, okay, I had my turn to be married. Will it be my turn again? So have faith. Have hope. There's billions of people in the world. All you need is one. So just
Mhm.
focus on that. All you need is your one person. Don't get discouraged if you go on several dates and it doesn't turn out to be that the way you want it to be. You may get burned out, but take a break. That's my second piece of advice. So have hope. Take breaks where needed. If you've been on, been dating for a few months, even for a few years, you
Yeah.
may need time to yourself to practice mindfulness, as I spoke about earlier. Take time for yourself so you can be more aware of the things that you want, things that you need. Also, to make sure you are listening to yourself more than anybody else. Don't allow your friends, not even your family, to influence your big decisions. You know what's best for you. And the Lord, if you're Christian, the Lord knows what's best for you first and foremost. Or if you believe in God overall, not just Christian. And then you come next. So make sure you're listening to yourself and your heart, because your heart will not steer you wrong.
Right. So, benefits to working with a matchmaker.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
do you think?
Benefits to working with a professional matchmaker is, as I mentioned earlier, you won't get burned out the way you do now currently with the online dating. We do all that for you. We do all the searching, all the vetting, all the interviewing. We ensure they're not a criminal. We do criminal background checks. We do social media checks. We
Ooh,
do everything. We make sure they work where they say they work. We
yeah.
do all of that for you, so you don't have to worry about being placed with somebody who says, they aren't who they, portray themselves to be and whatnot. So
Mhm.
that's the biggest benefit for it. I have a lot of clients that don't have time to be on the dating apps,
Right.
specifically attorneys. I have a lot of attorneys that are clients because they're so busy. They work 70 and 80-hour work weeks, sometimes Monday day. So it can be a huge time saver to use a professional matchmaker, because we do all of that work for you. So you don't have to worry about being on those apps, checking messages and all that stuff, because that can be very time consuming. So those are the two biggest, I'd say benefits to having a professional matchmaker. And we're like your dating BFF. We can give you advice. We can steer
Nice.
you, one way or the other. If you're kind of on the cusp about a certain situation or individual, we're the best people to talk to, because we know dating culture. We know it all. I've talked to thousands of singles. So I know what it looks like overall. And it's like a third party giving you opinions about your dating life. So those are the three biggest benefits to having a professional matchmaker.
We definitely need that insight,
Mm-hmm.
that outside opinion, because
Mm-hmm.
we could be blinded like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. And it's like all these
Mm-hmm.
red flags. So
Yeah, it helps to have somebody that you get advice from that's not like a family member or a friend. You may not want to tell them everything. So
right,
I'm totally unbiased. So good person to
exactly.
talk to.
Any like final thoughts or a message that you want to get out there or share?
Mm-hmm. Just overall, I just want everybody to just be optimistic. I know dating is terribly hard right now,
Yeah.
but again, I always give, the statement of there are, I don't know how many billion people there are in the world, but you can find somebody, or,
Right.
they'll find you if it's a man. We say men have to find women and whatnot, but whatever it is, there's somebody out there for you. So just be patient. It may have been years of, bad dates and bad luck and whatnot, but your person could be the very next person that you meet. So remain optimistic. Don't give up hope. Don't harden your heart. Don't allow the world to make your heart hard. I mean, there's some women, they have the heart of Pharaoh. I'm like, soften up a little bit, and let life just kind of lead you to the person that you're supposed to be with. It'll be just fine.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much for all of that information. And if somebody wants to work with you to find their match, give us the details about connecting with you.
Absolutely. You can find me at thelovecrushagency.com online and everywhere else as well. On social media, it's the Love Crush Agency on Facebook as well as Instagram. And you can feel free to reach out at any time. We host free consultations, 30-minute consultations for anybody that's interested. And you can also be a member of our free singles database. It's 100% free, and you are eligible for pairing. Of course, if you are on the free side, it may not be as common as if you're a client. Clients have guaranteed matches every month, and they have an assigned matchmaker as well. However, I say just get in the database. I have individuals that have been engaged in long-term relationships and have actually gotten married from being on the free side as well. So I would always suggest to be in our database because you never know, what will happen. So
Right.
those are the primary ways to get in contact with us. There's also a contact us page on the website if you have any questions, but the best idea would be to schedule a consultation so I can speak to you in the same manner that I'm speaking with her, so that you can tell me all of your goals, your dating history, and just your overall experience with love and relationships as well. So yeah, that's it.
Nice. Thank you so much for doing this. You gave a lot of gems, and I know that it'll be very helpful for me, but for other women who are divorced or divorced moms as well. So I really appreciate you hopping on and sharing your knowledge with us today. I appreciate it.
You're
Thank
quite
you.
welcome, and thank you for having me as well.
Of course.
Bye bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.